A little close. Hold up. Let me move this down a little bit. Can I like close all these fucking tabs? Holy shit. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. One perk of Opera is it automatic. It has a little automatic cleaning function. Super convenient. Hopefully you guys saw the new bangers that just released. I know I'm like right up on the damn camera, but let's see. I wanted to stream, but I also have to check my college stuff real quick, make sure I don't have anything due. Because I've done that before where I start streaming, then I fuck up and I miss something. Oh, okay. Let's see. Would you look at that? My teacher changed my grade from a 4.3 to a 5 out of 5. Okay, wow. Hearing that was, it was out of 5. So, yeah. What a dub. I don't know if you guys have this, but I get really nervous. Like, I just have anxiety when it comes to school, even if I have everything finished. Even if I have every single assignment, every single quiz done, I have mega anxiety about still not having something finished. And actually having this monitor over here vertical is super convenient because I can just see like all my assignments are listed, and on a normal screen you can't see all of them, but you can almost see every single one listed. So that's convenient. All right. I think we're going to be good. I was gonna do a video, or I'm still thinking about uploading it where YouTube's the whole ad blocker situation, but I just don't know. I probably should. I probably should just upload it, say fuck it. Why not? I just don't know, like, if YouTube I don't want YouTube to like not recommend my videos because I'm like talking shit on them or something. That would not be preferable. But, you know, that's probably once again me just being, well, that's just me being fucking paranoid, I guess. Then again, I am a hypochondriac, so paranoid is my middle fucking name. All right. They were good. I think we're solid. What should we title this one? Yep, I'll do it. Why not? I'm not scared. All right. So yeah, I accidentally uploaded, well, I uploaded 3 videos today. 3. So, upgrade your plan. Fuck me. Yeah, you gotta pay for that. Fuck that. All right, what are we going over today?
Look, healthful, thirst-quenching, satisfying. You see that? I don't want to hear y'all talking shit anymore.
Everyone loves a warm beverage around the holidays.
Yeah.
Cup of cocoa, mulled wine, hot Dr. Pepper. Yes, in the late 1960s, the holiday beverage of choice was hot Dr. Pepper.
What the
This
fuck?
time on Drinking
Oh,
History.
good Jesus. I've never heard of something that sounds so revolting. My God.
What?
So last week I posted this vintage ad for hot Dr. Pepper, and the reaction was so positive and rather inquisitive that
it like a
I just
tea?
had to try it out for myself.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'd never even have heard of this. Hot Dr. Pepper?
the original recipe is
Yeah, no, I think this guy's scamming. That's fake. Fake news. No way.
pretty basic, and I'll
Yeah?
let Dick Clark explain it to you.
Just heat Dr. Pepper in a saucepan till it steams, then pour over a thin slice of lemon.
What?
That's a hot idea. Yes, Dr. Pepper is delicious cold or hot.
Thanks, Dick. And I love this commercial because I feel like he's talking directly
Oh,
to me.
God.
Right, Max? Hot idea.
Now, in subsequent decades,
That's insane.
Dr. Pepper did give a few more directions, like the fact that it should be heated to 180 degrees Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
and that because of the carbonation, it might look like it's boiling, but it is not actually boiling.
Okay.
But really, that's it. So for this recipe, all you need is some
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper
Yeah, that's easy.
and a lemon.
Holy
Just pour the
shit.
Dr. Pepper into a saucepan, set it
Sure.
over medium heat, and bring it up to that 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Then cut the
Okay.
lemon, set
Put it in the microwave. What? Why would you? This seems excessive.
a slice in a mug or cup, then ladle in some of that hot Doc.
Wow,
That's
bro.
what the
He's
kids are
actually
gonna
he's doing it the exact right way.
call it when this takes off, because I just know that it will.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, here's our hot Dr. Pepper.
Oh my God, what
Let's
the
give it a taste.
Jesus, dude.
It is hot. It is flat as well. It's not bad. It tastes exactly like what it says. It tastes like hot Dr. Pepper. I looked on
Whoa. A revelation.
Man, I don't know about this.
online, a lot of people are like, "Oh, the lemon makes all the difference."
Yeah.
It just tastes like Dr. Pepper, but flat and hot. And I like Dr. Pepper, so I don't mind this.
Yeah.
It's
Same.
not necessarily what I would go for.
100% better cold. What the fuck?
Really, what it kind of reminds me of is like a sweet herbal tea. Like if you took sweet
Uh-huh.
tea and heated it up, it'd be the same. Also, you can make this with Diet Dr. Pepper. They actually had Diet...
Oh, bro, Diet Dr. Pepper, just drink water. What are you doing? Diet soda.
Admin Gold's stance on that is so dog shit. Oh my god. Diet versus not diet, not a big deal. It's not a big fucking... It's not... Considering the caloric difference, it's just not... there's just not a big enough difference in taste to justify drinking regular Dr. Pepper versus the diet version. Makes no sense.
It's soda illegal.
Dr.
Just
Pepper
drink.
back
I mean, granted, that this bottle right here is probably filled with aspartame to like this level.
in the
Water,
60s,
what
and
the
one of
fuck?
the original commercials
You're
says
on a
that
diet?
you can use Diet Dr. Pepper. I kind of feel like this is the sort of drink that Dylan Hollis would make on his show. I don't know if you know Dylan Hollis, but he does a lot of kind of vintage recipes. I feel like this would be good for him. Dylan, if you're watching, make some hot Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
So there isn't really a great deal of history about this drink, but there is a little bit, so I will cover it. But I first wanted to remind you that the Tasting History Cookbook makes a wonderful last-minute holiday gift for the tastorians in your life, and it is filled with a lot of history and more fleshed-out recipes than the one for hot Dr. Pepper. Also, I would love it if you leave a review of the book wherever you got it. It really, really helps out a lot.
I can taste it right now. Like, I know exactly what this would taste like, and it's just
So thank you so much, and now some history of hot Dr. Pepper.
Time for history, okay.
The story of Dr. Pepper starts at Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore in Waco, Texas.
Wait, oh, it came from Texas? Hell fucking yeah, it did. Hell fucking yeah, that's right.
Yeah, people probably went in there with like stomach pain and were kneeling over, throwing up, and they just said, hey, drink some hot Dr. Pepper. That'll probably work. That'll do something.
1885. But the man who came up with the drink was not, in fact, named Dr. Pepper, but rather it was a pharmacist who worked at the drugstore.
See, guys, look at that. It's medicine.
Charles Alderton. And he served it to all the people coming in, and they would call
medicine,
it Waco. But his boss, Wade Morrison, well, he wanted to give it a proper name, so he named it after Dr. Charles Pepper from
This is the story Dr. Pepper Company gives, although there's some doubt. Okay, so it's fake.
Virginia, not Texas, who was the father of a girl that he had once been in love with.
Sure, okay.
Kind of weird. Also, the doctor originally had a period after Dr. Pepper, which is grammatically correct, but in the 1950s they dropped it, and nobody knows why.
Well, I know why. It's because people are stupid and they don't know how to do English. That's
the drink may
why.
have started in the 1880s and became pretty popular in the Waco area, but it really took off in 1904 when it debuted at the St. Louis World's Fair. This was also the first time most people ever saw hot dogs and hamburgers on buns, and it's the first time that the ice cream cone was served en masse. So it's a
Bro, like, I feel like this is like, they must have released a lot of shit around then. Are you talking about the ice cream cone?
1 second. I'll be right back. No. Oh, fuck.
Dr. Pepper? Wow, this is a legendary event. Yeah, this is big.
Great moment in food history. Now, Dr. Pepper was billed as the king of beverages and as a healthful tonic free of the caffeine that was in most other sodas of the day.
Look, hey, real quick, look. Healthful, thirst-quenching, satisfying.
Instead,
just
it
how
was
it
the
is.
sugar that gave you that spark of energy. And in the
Yeah, for 30 seconds, and then you were out of energy for the rest of the day.
30s, there was a research study done that said that most people have a lull in their energy around the hours of 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m.
Really?
So Dr. Pepper capitalized on that and said, drink
Yeah, there it is.
to eat at 10, 2, and 4. That was actually something that my grandpa used to say every time us kids wanted a Dr. Pepper. Though we would never actually have Dr. Pepper because my grandparents wouldn't buy the name brand, so usually it was either...
it's like Dr. B. Oh, Mr. Pibb.
Dr. Thunder.
Pibb was really good. Like, I think Mr. Pibb is great.
Mr. Pibb or Dr. Thunder.
Oh, this one sucks. Oh, this one sucks so much dick. This is awful. I hate this.
Walmart. There's also a drink called Dr.
This is fucking nasty. Dr. Foots, are you kidding me?
Foots, which is a soda from the Finkel family brewers in the Netherlands. And I love that on their website, they treat it like it's a fine wine, saying it has a sweet nose of marzipan, cola, and cherries. And for pairing options, it suggests popcorn, chips, and American-style fast food. And while Dr. Foots isn't exactly related to
A microscopic piece of metal could be the biggest break in years in the legendary D.B. Cooper skyjacking case.
Fox 13's Lauren Donovan is live in the studio for us. So, Lauren, the new clue comes 52 years after that daring heist, and from the clip-on tie he left behind in seat 18E of that Boeing 727, right?
Yeah, to be exact, here it is right here behind me on screen, that new breadcrumb that was discovered. A trace of metal pulled from Cooper's necktie. Here it looks massive, but in reality, it's itsy bitsy. I'm told 3 to 4% of a single centimeter. You need a microscope to see it. Investigators believe this shred of evidence can lead them to some groundbreaking discoveries.
And when you look at the tie, when you look at that skinny black clip-on tie that he picked up at J.C. Penney, probably...
Fuck. First off, how did they find that? Like, what the hell? Like, did they have ants go gather it for them? Like, what the hell?
Around Christmas 1964 for $1.49.
Ooh. Oh boy, that's a bargain.
And you apply modern state-of-the-art technology to it, things they didn't have back in 1971 when this occurred. It tells a story. It's a microscopic piece. And you see that in the picture.
What the fuck story are they going to get from a microscopic piece of a tie? Like, are you going to trace the tie back to J.C. Penney and figure out that he was having an orgy in the bathroom? Like, what? Like, that nothing is going to come of this. That's
the green is the titanium. There's a sliver of red at the top, which is the stainless steel there.
Investigator Eric Ulis tells me this tiny piece of...
All that this tells me is that he was probably falling out of the sky. He took the wrong parachute. Falling out of the sky at, 9.8 meters per second. And splatted. His tie splatted as well. And every piece of him went in an opposite direction. And his tie exploded. That's all I'm...
Rare earth pulled from D.B. Cooper's tie could help unravel the mystery.
This piece in particular, I've found... unique. This particle in particular is very unique because, again, there has to be some sort of explanation of what type of, heavy-duty, hardcore mechanical process took place to actually abrade that stainless steel into the titanium.
He's yet to pinpoint.
Yeah, it's called slapping the earth at 100 miles per hour. That is what caused the amalgamation of shit to happen to this thing. Like,
its origin, but believes it's evidence. The infamous hijacker worked in specialty metals. 18 months ago, Eric used U.S. patents to trace 3 other particles from that same very tie to Crucible Steel, a plant 2,500 miles away from the Pacific Northwest where Cooper is believed to have landed.
Headquartered in the suburbs of Pittsburgh.
How the fuck did they find this? How do they know it came from D.B. Cooper? What? How did they find this little dick, like, in the middle of nowhere? Like, how did they do that?
Significant subcontractor for Boeing all throughout the 1960s. They supplied the lion's share of titanium and stainless steel for Boeing's aircraft. So it begins to make a lot of sense.
Eric says back in the 70s, employees at Boeing contractor Crucible Steel were known to travel to Seattle. Their metals and alloys used to build the 727, the very same model Cooper hijacked.
And we're looking for somebody that obviously had some sort of relationship to Boeing.
Eric's not crossed any suspects off the list.
Is this going right over my head? Or does all of this mean... Okay, I want to know how they found the little piece of 2% of a centimeter metal that's... Where did they find it? And how do they even know it's connected to DB Cooper at all? Did I just totally miss something? Did my brain just zap out of the realm? Like, what the fuck?
But says at this point, all roads lead to this man, titanium research engineer Vince Peterson from Pittsburgh.
I can put him in Seattle. I can put him at
Oh boy, I will
He's a
say, he
compelling
does
person of interest,
resemble a
and
little
he's
bit.
definitely somebody I'm going to continue to dig into.
So do you think this sliver of evidence is enough for the feds to reopen their case?
No. They've
Hell
made it
no.
very, very clear that they don't want to have anything to do with this case at this point.
That's like me bringing the police a pencil that was broken in half and a little hair or something was stuck to it, and it was supposedly from somebody who committed a crime 50 years ago. They're gonna look at me and be like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, it's just a pencil. Like,
All right, and it is worth noting that Peterson did pass away back in 2002, so no longer with us. Question for you, Hannah. How often do you think you should clean a tie? Maybe David can answer this one.
Well, I said the wrong thing earlier. I thought you put it in the washer, but I was wrong. You have to clean it.
hold on, wait. If they suspect it's this guy, then just check his banking history, right? And then you can kind of tell, like, I don't know, maybe he just kept it all in cash, so I guess you can't even tell that. But you know, I'd look at his history, see if, like, hey, did he make any obnoxiously large deposits at any point?
In the dry cleaners, apparently.
Yes, you do not put the tie in a washer. You won't be wearing it again.
So not that often, right?
Yeah,
Fair to
very
say.
rarely.
So because it's one of those items that rarely gets
I
cleaned,
was about to say, you never wash a tie. What?
that was actually a really good thing for this investigation. This black skinny tie, the clip-on was real dirty. It had more than 100,000 particles on it. Particle scientists pulled off that they began to test traces of all sorts of things that end up on your clothing. So maybe.
Wait, hold on. Did they find the whole tie? What?
You spill lunch, you bump up against a tree, give somebody a hug.
Right.
That passes on. Hannah, you put a coat over your
who knows
blazer right there.
who knows what's
Yeah,
on this
all
thing.
sorts of things. So they were able to find traces of rare metal in that tie, and that is why they believe this is all connected to that specific plant out there in Pittsburgh.
Okay, that sounds like a big old stretch. That sounds like a ginormous, humunculus stretch. What in the world? This comment sums it up perfectly. Imagine accusing a man who has been deceased for 2 decades. Oh my God! What the fuck? Imagine accusing a man who has been deceased for 2 decades. Now imagine being the press and releasing that man's name confidently. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Because odds are the dude's probably not DB Cooper. I mean, there's a little tiny minuscule chance that it is, but I mean, exactly. They traced the particle back to the company that makes the metal for the plane he was on. Actually, the particle probably came from the 727 itself that DB Cooper was on. He didn't have to work at the factory. He was on board the plane, and probably the tie somehow picked up the particle from the plane itself. So the evidence is worthless. But what am I missing here? Hold on.
Tie he left behind in seat 18E of that Boeing 727, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I missed.
18E of
Oh, this is what I missed. Okay, so he left the tie behind. I didn't. Okay.
Boeing 727.
That was the information I was missing. I did not. I was thinking that they found it on the ground, like somewhere in the fucking woods or something.
Right?
Yeah, to be exact, here it is, right here behind me on screen, that new breadcrumb that was discovered.
Okay, well, yeah, still, that doesn't really have anything to do with anything. I mean, like, yeah, I guess you could tie it back to the to the metal factory or whatever, but that is once again a humongous stretch that I just don't see that. Yeah, it's just going to be a mystery. God, 17 million views, Lamino. Going ham wild. Holy shit. When did this come out? 3 years ago? Yeah.
Just let me know.
A daring parachute escape from a flying 727 somewhere between Reno.
A search was made of the plane immediately. We don't know who he was, where he came from, or where he went. I expect that we'll keep looking.
Alright.
Just let me know.
Let me know. I expect this to be a banger.
A daring parachute escape from a flying 727 somewhere between Reno.
A search was made of the plane immediately. We don't know who he was, where he came from, or where he went. I expect that we'll keep looking until we find him or find out what happened.
I know who DB Cooper is. My dad. And I suspect that's exactly what happened to him. He fell right out into the sky and landed in the woods somewhere. He never pulled... Yeah. He was a goner from the get-go. From the beginning.
In the afternoon of November the 24th, 1971, a middle-aged man carrying a briefcase walked into Portland International Airport and purchased a one-way ticket to Seattle, Washington. The man identified himself as Dan Cooper, and along with 36 other passengers and a crew of 6, he soon boarded Northwest Airlines Flight 305. Once aboard, Cooper made himself comfortable in the middle of the last row of seats on the right side of the cabin.
Okay, so I feel like a really good way, if they still have the ticket, right? He wrote his name down, okay? If it really was the person, like, in the metal factory or whatever that they suspect it was, compare the handwriting, right? Aren't there, like, different avenues you can take, you know?
Ordered a drink and had a smoke, because this was the 70s. Once the flight was cleared for departure, Cooper turned around and handed an envelope to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. Inside the envelope was a note featuring a handwritten message stating he had a bomb. Schaffner reluctantly sat down beside him and glimpsed what appeared to be 8 sticks of dynamite inside his briefcase. Cooper's demands were quite simple. He wanted $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. He also demanded a fuel truck to stand ready to refuel the aircraft once they landed in Seattle.
Sounds
Should
like a
they
regular
fail to comply
Monday.
with his demands, he threatened to, quote, do the job.
No funny
Once
stuff.
the flight was airborne,
No funny business.
Schaffner went to inform the cockpit crew, while another flight attendant by the name of Tina Mucklow remained by Cooper's side. By using a telephone in the rear of the cabin, Mucklow acted as an intermediary between Cooper and the rest of the flight crew for the remainder of the hijacking. For the next hour and a half, Flight
doesn't seem that
305
serious.
maintained a holding pattern near Seattle, while local and federal authorities scrambled to procure the ransom as well as the 4 parachutes. 10,000 $20 bills were collected from a local bank, while the owner of a nearby skydiving school supplied the chutes.
Wait, back then wasn't... How much was $200,000 worth? $200,000. Okay, I'm just going to do 1970. In 1970. 1 million? Oh my god, if I was DB Cooper, I would have asked for 10 times that amount. Right? Maybe he was trying to go for something that was... that made sense, I guess. Something that was... What's the word I'm looking at? I'm looking for. Something that was... Shit.
At 5:45.
Hold on, wait. I'm still thinking of the word. My God, I'm blanking. I'm fucking blanking. Holy shit. Reasonable. My God. How hard is it to think of the word? He was trying to think of a number that was reasonable. So 1.5 million, he was probably like, well, they can get that at the bank. That's just a regular transaction.
Skydiving school supplied the chutes. At 5:45 p.m., more than 2 hours past its scheduled arrival, Flight 305 finally touched down in Seattle. By this point, it was well after sunset, and the aircraft was brought to a remote section of the tarmac. Once the flight came to a stop, both the ransom and the parachutes were handed over to Mucklow, who then brought them back aboard. In exchange, Cooper permitted 2 of the flight attendants as well as all the passengers to disembark, many of whom had not yet realized the flight had been hijacked. With the ransom paid and only 4 crew members remaining on board, Cooper told Mucklow to inform the captain that he wanted to fly to Mexico City. They were to fly with the landing gear down, the flaps at 15 degrees and below 10,000 feet. The lights in the cabin were to be switched off, and the aft stairway, which opens from the underbelly of the fuselage, was to remain extended.
Okay, unless he has he understands airplanes very well, I don't understand how he gave them all these exact instructions. Either that or this is a very well thought out plan.
2 of Cooper's demands could not be satisfied. First of all, the flight configuration he'd requested would not allow for a non-stop flight to Mexico City. As such, Cooper proposed a refueling stop in Phoenix, Yuma, or Sacramento before they all agreed on Reno, Nevada. Second of all, it was not possible to depart with the ventral staircase extended. Cooper agreed to retract the stairs on the condition that Mucklow remained by his side and taught him how to extend them once the plane was airborne. Parked for nearly 2 hours due to complications with refueling, Flight 305 was back in the air by 7:36 p.m.
Sounds filthy.
Less than 5 minutes after takeoff, Cooper told Mucklow to head for the cockpit and that from this point onwards, he was not to be disturbed. The last time she saw Cooper, he was standing in the middle of the aisle as if though he was preparing to jump. Mucklow joined the rest of the crew, locked the cockpit door behind her, and some 3 hours later, Flight 305 safely landed in Reno. Once the flight came to a stop, the crew carefully ventured into the rear of the cabin, but there was no sign of Cooper nor the bomb. The aft stairway had been extended mid-flight and was slightly damaged upon landing. It seemed there was only one explanation for the hijacker's absence. At some point between Seattle and Reno, Cooper had strapped on a parachute, walked down the stairs, and leaped into the dark of night.
Oh no! DB Cooper. Oh god. Nah, he's fine. He's probably still living in the woods.
As soon as it became clear that Cooper was no longer on board, dozens of FBI agents converged upon the aircraft, only to discover a disappointing amount of physical evidence. A black clip-on tie, 8 cigarette butts,
okay, that's the tie we were just...
and 2 of the 4 parachutes were all that Cooper left behind. Evidently, he'd brought the ransom and briefcase along with him. In interviews conducted on the night of the hijacking, Cooper was described...
But why would he leave the tie? Why?
...by the crew and passengers as a white male with brown eyes and dark hair. He appeared to be in his mid-40s and wore a dark trench coat, a dark suit, a white shirt, a black tie, and dark shoes. Soon
Sounds
after
like
boarding,
plenty of
he'd
evidence
also
to
donned
me.
a pair of sunglasses. Based on this description, the FBI produced the first of several composite sketches. Before they could mount a search, however, the FBI had to figure out when Cooper abandoned ship. But that was easier said than done. None of the 4 crew members witnessed Cooper jumping from the plane, nor did the pilots of 2 fighter jets which escorted the flight between Seattle and Reno, which is not all too surprising given it was the middle of the night. Although the flight crew did report something odd, the last communication with the hijacker occurred at approximately...
Could they not have just seen where he jumped out? Hold on.
...ship, but that was easier said than done. None of the 4 crew members witnessed Cooper jumping from the plane, nor did the pilots of 2 fighter jets which escorted the flight between Seattle and Reno, which is not all too surprising given it was the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Although the flight crew did report something odd, the last communication with the hijacker occurred at approximately 8:05 p.m. when the crew used the intercom to offer assistance, which Cooper declined. Within the next 10 minutes, the crew experienced what they described as an oscillation or vibration of the aircraft. At the time, the crew suspected it might have been produced by Cooper's jump, and a subsequent recreation of the hijacking supported that conclusion.
Sounds about right.
Okay, so that took care of the when, but what about the where? While Cooper was very explicit about the flight's configuration and destination, he never specified any kind of route. In fact, Cooper grew so impatient with the slow refueling in Seattle that he dismissed the captain's request to file a flight plan and simply told him to, quote, get the show on the road. As such, the captain chose to fly along an airway known as Victor 23 without any input from Cooper. By using Victor 23 as a guide, authorities estimated the most probable location of the flight at the approximated time of the jump was about 40 kilometers north of Portland. And so, at the break of dawn, the FBI mounted an impressive search operation using helicopters, airplanes, and ground troops.
That is
the problem was,
very large
even
search
if
area.
the estimated bailout point was accurate, Cooper's eventual landing or drop zone was far more difficult to pinpoint. The loosely defined search area covered a vast stretch of mountainous wilderness occluded by a dense forest, so it was truly like finding a needle in a haystack. Apart from the difficult terrain, the search was further complicated by low temperatures and inclement weather, which persisted for days. Despite their best efforts, authorities never managed to find a single trace of Cooper, nor the items he brought along with him.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, it was too. Honestly, the plan was pretty good. The plan was solid. He, you know, at this point, I would have been like, well, that's an L. We lost 200,000, but you know what? We're gonna have to, you know, whatever.
Having made little to no progress by early December, the FBI turned their attention to the $200,000 ransom. The money had been collected from the Seattle First National Bank, which maintained a ransom package of $250,000 just for such an occasion. Because of this, the serial numbers of the $10,020 banknotes given to Cooper had been documented in advance, a complete list of which were quickly made available to financial institutions, government agencies, and the general public. The intention was to make it as difficult as possible for Cooper to spend his money. Northwest Airlines and several newspapers even began...
Okay, I feel like this is a good yes, but there's so many... I don't know, I feel like he would be... I feel like there's so many places that will accept money, right? Like a gas station back then. And it's like, it's owned, you know, like back then, a lot of things were like privately owned and people used cash. Like they didn't, you know, I guess eventually the money might end up back to the banks and everything. And then it would be like found, but I just don't, it just
began to offer rewards to anyone who could find a note with a matching serial number.
I feel like it would be hard to trace it back.
In spite of these efforts,
to where
no one
it came
ever
from.
did. That is until nearly a decade later. In early 1980, a young boy named Brian Ingram was building a campfire on a small beach in southern Washington. As he was digging into the sand, Ingram discovered 3 bundles of cash totaling $5,880. Having heard about the infamous skyjacking, Ingram's parents brought the severely degraded bundles to the FBI. The notes were promptly inspected, and sure enough, the serial numbers matched those of the ransom.
Wait, so he did...
Once
okay,
the
so he
excitement
survived.
subsided, however, the money managed to raise far more questions than it answered, the most significant of which was how? How did the money end up so far away from the drop zone? Looking at...
He survived. He deployed his parachute. He walked through the forest and got into a car and made his way to the beach, I guess.
This map, it might be tempting to think that Cooper simply dropped some of the money, which then fell into the Lewis River. The bundles could then have been carried further downstream by the Columbia River before finally being washed ashore at Tina Bar,
Okay,
which is the
you know
name
what?
of the beach.
You know what?
Tina Mucklow, Tina Bar.
That probably makes more sense.
Coincidence? Yeah, coincidence. Anyway, the problem with this idea is that the Columbia River flows in the opposite direction.
Oh,
This
well,
has
never
led
mind.
some, including
Never
members
mind.
of the FBI, to re-evaluate the initial drop zone assessment, For instance, if the drop zone was much further southeast, close to a river called the Washougal River, it is conceivable, albeit improbable, that the money floated all the way down to Tina Bar.
Yeah, that's...
Alternatively, the bundle...
That is so far out into left field, because it would have to drop in this very skinny part, and not even... You'd have to assume that there's no possibility that it landed in this area that's actual land. Even then, that's still like a skinny little piece of river for the money to drop in.
Bundles may have simply landed on the beach if the flight path was further to the west. Even so, natural explanations struggle to explain how 3 independent, potentially free-falling and or free-floating bundles of cash ended up at the exact same place on the same beach.
Such a good... If they are like individual bundles of cash and they weren't like tied together or anything, then somebody 100% placed them there. Or, I don't know. It makes no sense.
To complicate matters, sediment from the river was excavated and dumped onto Tina Bar as part of a dredging operation in 1974. And according to one analysis, the money was discovered above this layer of sediment. If true, that would mean the money came to rest at Tina Bar sometime after 1974. But a re-examination of that analysis found that what was believed to be a layer of deposited sediment might actually have been a perfectly natural layer of clay. Not only that, but the sediment was clearly dumped some distance away from where the money was discovered. Furthermore, when Ingram discovered the bundles, the rubber bands which held them together were still intact. This is significant because experiments conducted in 2009 revealed that this brand of rubber bands could not withstand exposure to open air or water for more than a year. So, unless the bundles were somehow protected from the elements, they must have become buried at Tina Bar within a year of the hijacking. The most probable explanation, therefore, seems to be that Cooper or someone else deliberately buried the money. Did Cooper survive and bury the money himself? Did someone else bury the money after stumbling upon Cooper's remains? If there is an explanation which does not require human intervention, it's managed to elude investigators for decades. Suffice it to say, this is a mystery within a mystery. Since Ingram's discovery in 1980, both Tina Bar and the grounds around the Washougal River have been subjected to numerous searches, but to date, there's been no sign of Cooper nor the rest of the money.
Bummer. Huge bummer. We're getting into it now.
From the very beginning, it was assumed by many that Cooper did not survive his daring escape. It would not make for a very thrilling conclusion to this story, but that's the thing about stories, they're usually far more exciting than reality. While there is no hard evidence for nor against Cooper's survival, the assumption that he fell to his death is not without merit. When Cooper leaped into the darkness, Flight 305 was plowing through a frigid rainstorm at roughly 170 knots, 10,000 feet above southern Washington. The wind was so violent that it ripped out a placard from the aft stairway, which was later recovered in 1978 almost directly below the estimated flight path. To say that Cooper was not dressed for the occasion would be an understatement. The ground beneath him, meanwhile, was obscured by multiple layers of clouds, which likely means that Cooper jumped without knowing his precise location. Even if he could see the ground and had a specific drop zone in mind, the parachute he selected was non-steerable, meaning he would not have been able to steer his descent towards a specific landing spot,
oh my god,
thus precluding any potential coordination with an accomplice stationed on the ground. While Cooper expressed some familiarity with parachutes, his actual competence level is up for debate. It's widely believed that Cooper demanded 2 pairs of parachutes, 2 primary and 2 reserve, to make the authorities believe that he intended to take a hostage. That is precisely what happened, as the FBI contemplated but eventually decided against sabotaging the chutes, as they did not want to risk the life of an innocent civilian. But in their haste to obtain them, they unintentionally provided Cooper with a non-functional dummy chute intended for training purposes. This mishap seems to have gone unnoticed by Cooper because that dummy chute was one of the 2 missing from the plane. Not only that, but Cooper chose the older and technically inferior parachute out of the 2 primary chutes provided. So in both cases, it seems like Cooper made the worst possible choice. But there are
He
other
got
ways to
fucking blasted,
interpret
holy
this
shit.
information. For instance, it's possible that Cooper used the dummy chute not as a reserve, but as a means to secure the bag of money. In fact, that is precisely what Cooper tried to do with the functional reserve chute. First, he tried to place the money in the chute's canopy before removing some of the suspension lines and wrap them around the bag. Perhaps he used the dummy chute for a similar purpose. And Cooper's decision to use the older primary chute is not necessarily an indication of inexperience. It could also be a sign of familiarity, because the chute he left behind was a civilian luxury chute, while the one he used was a military chute. The argument is that Cooper might have been trained as, say, a paratrooper, and chose the older military chute because that's the one with which he was most familiar. And there is at least one other reason to suspect that Cooper had a military background. While the flight was in a holding pattern near Seattle, Cooper mentioned that the McCord Air Force Base was only 20 minutes away from the Seattle-Tacoma airport. At the time, that was an accurate assessment and might suggest a military background. Apart from the potential military connections, Cooper may even have had links to the Central Intelligence Agency. You see, the type of aircraft which Cooper chose to hijack, a Boeing 727, was also used by the CIA to covertly drop agents and supplies during the Vietnam War. A task for which the Boeing 727...
Alright, once again, I think that this is a situation where they're going maybe a little bit too deep into the situation. I seriously doubt Cooper thought about all this, but I could be totally wrong. I could be completely incorrect about
was uniquely qualified due to its distinctive aft stairway. So it's fairly safe to assume that Cooper chose to hijack a Boeing 727 specifically because it provided a relatively safe means of escape. Whether he learned of this from the CIA or came to that conclusion independently is another question. However, the fact that Cooper chose to hijack a flight operated by Northwest Airlines was apparently random chance. When Tina Mucklow asked Cooper about his motives, he responded, "It's not because I have a grudge towards your airline, it's just because I have a grudge." He further clarified that Flight 305 just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Even so, it's clear that Cooper came prepared. He seemed to know a great deal about aircraft and aviation, he appeared to be familiar with the local terrain, he maintained a low profile to avoid a panic, he covered his eyes with a pair of glasses to conceal his identity, he left very little evidence behind, and he demanded 4 parachutes to force the assumption that he was taking a hostage. He was even cunning enough to reclaim the note which he'd initially given to Florence Schaffner. Apart from the name he wrote on his plane ticket, there are no other samples of Cooper's handwriting. But for all his planning and cunning, it seems Cooper did not give enough thought to his eventual escape. Not only did he fail to specify a route, but he was forced to make a last-minute destination change from Mexico City to Reno. He could have demanded more appropriate parachuting equipment like a pair of boots, a helmet, or jumpsuit. He could even have specified the ransom to be delivered in larger denominations to make it lighter and less cumbersome to carry. Presuming he did survive the fall and made it safely to the ground, he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He may then have had to make his way through a dense, partially snow-covered forest in nothing but loafers and a trench coat in late November.
God, he got
I get the distinct impression that Cooper's escape was much more of a leap of faith than a carefully executed jump.
So he either
On the other hand, authorities never received a missing persons report matching the description of Cooper in the wake of the hijacking. This might suggest that Cooper did survive and that he swiftly and quietly resumed his normal routine. Furthermore, other hijackers have performed similar stunts, and many of them did survive even if they were quickly apprehended. Finally, the simplest explanation for how 3 bundles of cash ended up at Tina Bar is human intervention. At the end of the day, most of this is based on nothing but supposition. Without any concrete evidence of Cooper's demise, it leaves the door wide open to the far more exciting proposition that he did, in fact, survive.
I think he probably survived. Because I feel like they would have found a body, right? Or I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he splatted on the ground and every piece of his body just scattered in every which direction. So I guess that could have happened too.
By the time the press got wind of the hijacking, the FBI had already begun to investigate a few potential suspects. Among them was a man in Portland with initials DB and surname Cooper. This Cooper was quickly eliminated as a suspect, but due to a mix-up by the press, the name Dan Cooper was confused for DB Cooper, and the rest is history. While Dan Cooper is most likely a pseudonym, there is a comic book series of the same name. The comic is written in French and centers around a Canadian pilot named Dan Cooper. While the comic was not translated into English nor sold in the United States before 1971, it was available in Canada, which has a large French-speaking population. Given that American and Canadian accents can be difficult to distinguish, it's possible that Cooper, who was described as having no discernible accent, was a bilingual Canadian. This might even be supported by something that Cooper might have said. You see, when the captain relayed Cooper's demands to air traffic control, he used the phrase negotiable American currency. It seems doubtful that an American citizen would specify American currency, so perhaps Cooper was not American. The problem is...
Okay, you know what? Yeah. That would be a huge red flag. My fucking third eye would be beaming at this shit. Yeah. If he specified American currency, because I feel like a regular American would say, I want blank amount of dollars. Like, they wouldn't say American.
We don't know if this is a direct quote from Cooper or paraphrasing by the captain. For instance, notes taken by the crew during the hijacking merely contain the phrase negotiable currency, while testimonies provided by the crew after the hijacking include phrases like $200,000 in cash and circulated US currency. So Cooper might have been Canadian, and he might have taken his name from the Dan Cooper comics, just as he might have been American and might have taken his name from something or someone else. Nearly half a century has gone by since the hijacking took place, and in that time thousands of suspects have been questioned and investigated. It would obviously be impossible to cover all of them here, but let's take a look at some of the people that at some point or another have been suspected of being D.B. Cooper. Robert Rackstraw first became a suspect in 1978, and on the surface he seems like a solid candidate. He was a decorated army paratrooper and helicopter pilot. He had experience with explosives. He had an extensive criminal record. He had an uncle named John Cooper who was an avid skydiver. He was expelled from the army only months before the hijacking, which might suggest a motive. After all, the hijacker did say he had a grudge. When confronted by journalists and private investigators, Rackstraw would neither confirm nor outright deny that he was D.B. Cooper. Instead, he'd say things like, "I could have been," or "I would not discount myself." On the other hand, Rackstraw had light-colored eyes, which Cooper did not. More significantly, Rackstraw was only 28 years of age at the time of the hijacking. This is well outside the range of ages reported by the crew and passengers.
I don't know.
Most of whom believed Cooper was...
I mean, that looks like it, you know, he could be misconstrued as being a little older.
...was in his mid-40s. Kenneth Christensen first became a suspect in 2003 when his brother noticed certain parallels between him and Cooper. Christensen had briefly served as a paratrooper in World War II, and since 1950...
Oh god, imagine your own brother outing you. That's unfortunate.
1953, he'd worked for Northwest Airlines as both a mechanic and a flight attendant. He was 45 years old at the time of the hijacking. He was left-handed, which Cooper might have been. For instance, Cooper used his left hand to interact with his briefcase, and the clip-on tie he left on board was affixed with a tie clasp applied from the left. Shortly before he died in 1994, Christensen had supposedly told his brother, "There is something you should know, but I cannot tell you." After his passing, his family discovered over $200,000 in his bank accounts. To top it all off, Florence Schaffner stated that photographs of Christensen bore a strong resemblance to Cooper. On the other hand, Christensen did not match the physical description of Cooper. He was both shorter and lighter. While Schaffner did see a strong resemblance, she remarked that Cooper had more hair, and that is supported by the composite sketches. And there was nothing suspicious about the large sums of money which he'd simply earned by selling land.
Well,
Richard McCoy first became a suspect in 1972 when he hijacked a Boeing 727 and escaped via the aft stairway, much like D.B. Cooper. Because of the significant...
Hold on, I'll be right back. to get the chug jug.
Overlap between the two hijackings, some believe they must have been committed by the same person. McCoy used a fake name, he used a fake hand grenade to threaten the crew, he used handwritten notes to issue his demands. Both McCoy and Cooper used the phrase "no funny stuff" as a warning to the crew. McCoy demanded $500,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. McCoy also bailed out the back of the plane once they passed over his hometown in the state of Utah. Apart from the similar modus operandi, McCoy had also served in the Vietnam War as a demolitions expert and a helicopter pilot. McCoy did actually survive the fall and managed to evade authorities for 2 full days before he was apprehended and sentenced to 45 years in prison. Before his death in 1974, McCoy refused to confirm or deny that he was D.B. Cooper. On the other hand, McCoy was an avid recreational skydiver and even came prepared with a skydiving helmet and jumpsuit. He gave very specific instructions about the flight path. In addition to the fake hand grenade, McCoy also used an unloaded handgun to threaten the crew. He failed to retrieve one of the notes he'd given to a flight attendant. He was only 29 years of age at the time of the hijacking, and all 3 flight attendants were quite certain that McCoy was not Cooper. While there are meaningful parallels between these 2 cases, McCoy might simply have been a copycat who'd read about D.B. Cooper in the news. Dwayne Weber first became a suspect in 1995 when, shortly before his death, he supposedly told his wife, "I've got a secret to tell you. I am Dan Cooper." Following his deathbed confession, Weber's widow recalled a number of fascinating details.
I'm not gonna... Okay. Let's be honest here. Those ears, anyone would recognize those ears. Come on now. Hold on, go back to this. No way. No way. Because I feel like they would have been like, okay, his ears kind of flopped over a little bit. You know, and that you don't really see that here. They kind of look like normal ears. Those are some prominent ears.
And shortly before his death, he supposedly told his wife, "I've got a secret to tell you. I am Dan Cooper." Following his deathbed confession, Weber's widow recalled a number of fascinating details. She claims to have found a bank bag resembling the one used in the hijacking. She claims Weber had sustained a knee injury after jumping out of a plane. Weber supposedly had a nightmare about leaving his fingerprints on the aft stairs. And a year before the money was discovered at Tina Bar, Weber had allegedly paid a quick visit to the same location. In addition, Weber was a World War II veteran, he had an extensive criminal record, he'd matched the physical description, and he was 47 years old in 1971. On the other hand, Weber's fingerprints did not match any of the prints collected from Flight 305. Although, to be fair, there's no way to know if any of those prints...
Wait, if you join the military, aren't your fingerprints like automatically taken? Right? Am I off in left field with that one?
...actually belonged to Cooper.
Yeah, if he was him, then...
Furthermore, Weber's DNA did not match a DNA sample collected from the tie clasp. But once again, there's no way to know if the DNA on the tie clasp actually came from the hijacker and not someone else. What's so frustrating is that the FBI likely had a much better source of DNA at one point. If you recall, 8 cigarette butts were collected from the scene and there's a good chance they were all suffused with Cooper's DNA. The problem is, that evidence was lost at some point and has not turned up since.
Are you fucking kidding me? What?
William Smith first became a suspect in 2018. Smith served in the Navy during World War II and likely had some experience with parachuting. He was 43 years old at the time of the hijacking. He had dark brown eyes. He matched the physical description.
Now that looks like D.B. Cooper. That... Is it just me or does that look just like... Where's the sketch? Mother of Pearl. That looks just like mother plucking D.B. Cooper. Holy moly.
He shared a certain likeness with the composite sketches, especially this speculative sketch of an...
No, he looks more like the original one. He looks just like that dude.
Older D.B. Cooper. A student named Ira Daniel Cooper, who was killed in World War II, attended the same high school as Smith. Smith worked as a yardmaster for a railroad company for most of his life, but in 1970 the company filed for bankruptcy. As a consequence, Smith lost his pension, which might suggest a motive.
Oh, if I was him, yeah, that'd be my motive.
He could, for instance, have developed a grudge towards the airline industry for their role in bringing about the downfall of the rail transportation industry. It's further speculated that Smith could have used his knowledge of railroad networks to hop on a train and escape undetected. On the other hand, Smith spent his entire life in the northeastern United States. Given that the hijacking occurred on the other side of the country and was committed by someone who at least appeared to be familiar with the local terrain, Smith is not the most ideal candidate. However, the fact that Smith worked as a yardmaster is interesting. You see, the tie that Cooper left behind was recently examined using an electron microscope, which uncovered various metallic particles. Some of these particles, especially pure titanium, were quite rare in 1971. This might suggest that Cooper worked as a manager at some sort of chemical or metallurgical facility, or possibly a rail yard.
It's him. It's him, 100%. I know it.
If nothing else, I hope this limited selection of suspects illustrates just how difficult it is to be certain when you have so little evidence to work with. These 5 individuals look nothing alike, yet any one of them could be D.B. Cooper.
It has to be him. What? Okay, let's just go back to the composite sketch. That? What? That's him. That is him. Oh my
God. High
God.
school as Smith, chemical or... If nothing else, I hope this limited selection of suspects illustrates just how difficult it is to be certain when you have so little evidence to work with. These 5 individuals look nothing alike, yet any one of them could be D.B. Cooper. Was Cooper really in his mid-40s, or did he simply look old for his age? Did Cooper really serve in the military? Which one of these sketches most closely resemble Cooper? In 2016, the FBI had to admit defeat and officially close down the case. Unless someone stumbles upon Cooper's remains or manages...
God, they left the case open for... How long is that? Oh my God, that's 46 years. That is a really long time to keep a case open.
To track down the rest of the money, it seems there is little hope of resolution. Did Cooper survive? I have no idea. But as long as that possibility cannot be dismissed, the legend of D.B. Cooper will no doubt persist.
All right, throwing bars there at the end, let me know. Oh my God. Well, D.B. Cooper still on the run. I firmly, that guy looks just like the freaking sketch. Yep. The forehead. Okay, hold on. I'm about to blow your mind. Okay, let me get to a point to where, okay, there's where the sketch. All right, let's go ahead and get a little snippet of this right here. Okay, we have the snippet. We have that. It's a little, okay. And now let's go to him. Of course, 100% speculative, but I don't want to sign in. Just give me the... Okay, here, I'll just open up both the... All right. Okay, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. However, okay, as you grow, okay, this guy's eyes, they're like, this one, his eyes look a little far apart, kind of similar. Not exactly, but kind of similar. Forehead is exact match. This is DNA evidence. Holy fuck. The hair swoops over to the same side, and it's basically the same exact thing. Eyebrows, pretty much the same. The lips, oh my God. The lips are also the exact same. Look at this. No upper lip, huge bottom lip. No upper lip, huge bottom lip. The ears. The ear. And he has dark brown eyes. Am I the only one seeing this? Holy shit. Well. Okay. It's so similar, I would be surprised if he wasn't DB Cooper.
Daniel Cooper, who was killed in World
I would look at his bank history, unless he just kept it all, all the cash or whatever, but...
War II, attended the same high school as Smith. Smith worked as a yardmaster for a railroad company for most of his life, but in 1970 the company filed for bankruptcy. As a consequence, Smith lost his pension, which might suggest a motive. He could, for instance, have developed a grudge towards the airline industry for their role in bringing about the downfall of the rail transportation industry. It's further speculated that Smith could have used his knowledge of railroad networks to hop on...
Well, I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know. Excuse me. Let's see if Charlie uploaded any new videos. Oh, he has. Let's watch it.
I'd like to start by addressing all of the individuals on Twitter that have been spamming me today demanding that I give Billy Mitchell an apology. This is my official response to all of you. Oh, almost fell off the chair on the way down.
My God, he fucking shit himself. My God.
Billy Mitchell.
He clinched. He 100%.
Demanding that I give Billy Mitchell an apology. This is my official response to all of you.
Remember, he was like, "Oh, a fart's coming on. We got to start the video."
Oh, almost fell.
Unless that was a stock sound.
Off the chair on the way down. Billy Mitchell does not deserve an apology because Billy Mitchell is not innocent. You are letting him manipulate and lie to you as he has done for his entire career. I don't think he's even able to accidentally tell the truth about anything. If a single truthful statement left the lips of Billy Mitchell, he'd probably be set on fire instantly, smited by the Lord. His whole core being, his soul, is entwined with his lies.
I don't know a lot about Billy Mitchell, but from what I understand is that he was wasn't he like the Tetris or he was some sort of world champion in video games a while ago, and he's been like riding this wave this entire time, and just basically states that he's the biggest, video game world record holder or whatever. I don't know, something like that. But he apparently cheated for a lot of those world records, or being the best or something.
And yet somehow, people are letting him get away with it again. For those that don't know, Silly Mitchell here has convinced not only his audience, but also the general Twitter audience that he was somehow victorious in his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies. If you don't know
that's right. And then he is now a hate-fueled man that tries to sue every single person that even has a hint of defamation thrown his way at all. If anyone speaks bad about him, he will sue you. So I wouldn't be surprised if he sued me for even making this video or streaming this,
Billy Mitchell he's the self-proclaimed video game player of the century for his high scores,
right?
Which
were
fraudulent. Yeah. He is a cheater. And over the last 5 or 6 years, his legacy has just been as a spittoon for the internet to spit in and laugh at, and just genuinely been the punching bag to everyone's joke. Because he is so pathetic. He's become less known for his video game antics and more known for his frivolous lawsuits, which he just tosses out of his ass out the wazoo. He sued Cartoon Network because they made fun of him in an episode. He sued YouTubers because they
and it was
used
probably a
meme
harmless
that
joke.
He cheated. The guy super sucks. He is a turbo fucking loser. But whiny Billy Bitchell here is never satisfied and always has to keep sticking his hand in the cookie jar. So one of the organizations he recently sued was Twin Galaxies, which was the site that used to host his records until they scrubbed them when they learned that they were cheated. They weren't real. He sued them for defamation, and they recently settled, and Billy put out a statement as well as Twin Galaxies, and Billy led everyone to believe that he may be in the clear. His records have been reinstated, thus he's not a cheater. Everyone was wrong about this guy. Somehow so many outlets are running with this as well, from what I can tell, that his records have been reinstated, which is leading everyone to believe that he's not a cheater. He is. Here's a 4-hour video with irrefutable evidence that Billy Mitchell is without a shadow of a doubt a cheater. It's extremely obvious and downright painful how no one even bothered to look into this for even an iota of—
Hold on, that just registered. 4 hours. My God, how much content
a second here.
were you
Billy
able to
Mitchell
get?
did not win. He did not prove his innocence in any capacity whatsoever, and his records haven't been reinstated. Billy Mitchell's only W here was by not getting absolutely biblically embarrassed publicly at court and trial.
So it was that bad, huh?
First time one of his lawsuits hasn't just been used as expensive toilet paper. It's the first time one of his lawsuits hasn't just been laughed out of existence. So I guess it's a slight W. It's the best possible scenario Billy Mitchell could have hoped for, because he and his legal team knew they could never prove that he didn't.
So then where did the whole thing, his records are getting reinstated? Like, where did that come from? Did it pop out of somebody? Did it come out of Charlie's ass when he farted into the microphone? Like, what the fuck? Where?
Cheat.
What?
Because he did. And they know that. And everybody knows that. But they reached this settlement through a couple of different reasons, which we'll get to in a moment. But the settlement doesn't reinstate his records. Carl Jobst just posted a video breaking it down a little bit deeper, so check that out if you want to get into the nitty-gritty. His video title says Billy Mitchell lost his lawsuit, which isn't exactly correct. Nobody won. But since nobody won, Billy Mitchell kind of got the best outcome. He got the good ending for his dead to rights case. Like, it's a load of baloney, and the fact they settled means that Billy Mitchell got the best he could have hoped for. He didn't necessarily lose the lawsuit. Now let's address the reinstated records everyone keeps talking about. What Twin Galaxies agreed to do was make a historical archive for how the site used to be when Billy Mitchell's fraudulent records were still there. They basically just added a Wayback Machine that showed Billy Mitchell's old records on it. That's it. It's not on the main leaderboard. They're not officially endorsing those.
Oh God! So they're just saying, okay, it's a part of history, but it's definitely not. Oh my God! It's worse than I thought. That's humiliation. Jesus.
As real runs. Twin Galaxies, from what I can tell, still maintains that they are fraudulent and he is a cheater, but they agreed in this settlement to at least house them on Twin Galaxies under this archive. That's it. It's just a portal to peek at Billy Mitchell's bullshit through Twin Galaxies.
What a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
It's just Wayback Machine for it. It's not an official reinstatement of his runs or giving them the stamp of approval that they're legitimate. He will never, ever be able to prove he didn't cheat, because he did.
That is some baloney.
The number one defense against defamation is the truth, and the truth is Billy Mitchell is a cheater. And if this ever made it to trial, that would come out. So the settlement here is absolutely the best case scenario for him, which sucks. It is really sad that Twin Galaxies...
So they basically just said, okay, we don't feel like going to an actual trial and getting this looked at, so we're just going to meet him at the halfway point. His records are still fraudulent. They don't exist. They're not real. But just to make you feel better, we're gonna show you the website from when they were real. Like, what the fuck? That is so
settled here. The unfortunate reality is things went wrong on Twin Galaxies' legal side, and things went really wrong on Billy Mitchell's legal side. But at the end of the day, they ended with this settlement because it couldn't continue with the way it was going and the expenses that it was incurring. As tragic as it is, that's the American way. Whoever has the most money will usually win when it comes to these legal matters. It was becoming too expensive, and it reached this settlement, which is the best case for big boy Billy.
It's unfortunate.
Even if you just look at his official statement, this is really grinding my gears. Nowhere in here does it even suggest that he was cleared of the cheating allegations, because he's a goddamn cheater, and everyone knows it. But for some reason, because Billy Mitchell is saying, like, the records have been reinstated, they're like, oh, he must not be a cheater anymore. And even in the statement, it even makes it very clear that it's part of the official...
He makes it sound like they are actually reinstating his video games, like or his video game world records. what the fuck? At no point in this is he like, nope, it's just an archive. Like, what in the bologna sandwich is this? This is some spoiled titty milk. I've never seen, like, I am relieved and satisfied to reach this resolution after an almost 6-year ordeal and look forward to pursuing my unfinished business elsewhere. What unfinished business? What the fuck? If this, your whole legacy is cheating, or, well, yeah, cheating world records. That's your whole unfinished, that's your business. And you've failed. Well, you've succeeded in cheating world records, but you failed in actually producing a real world record.
Historical database, not the actual leaderboards. It's totally separate. It's not real. They're fake. But people still ran with it. And they're like, Charlie, when are you going to apologize to Billy Mitchell? You know he's innocent now, right? It's
oh,
like, no,
God.
Hop off the goof juice. He's not. Now, there's a mention here of Dr. Zyda. And if you go to Twin Galaxy's website, you'll find that name mentioned as well. A supposed super scientist who's willing to risk his entire career in the defense of Billy Mitchell by suggesting it's possible he didn't cheat for those records. And this man is a goober, a straight-up goober. Carl Jobst goes more in depth on his claims. I'm just going to give you some of the cliff notes. One of his unironic...
Another issue brought to mind is that of copies of videotapes, as videotapes are copied and handed out to someone who then makes Jesus. Visual artifacts often appear as second and third generation and beyond copies are made. It is important to note that it is unknown how many generations of copies were created to arrive at this at the current videotapes. Another issue with respect to this is whether the videotape heads were cleaned before the copies were made, including whether Billy Mitchell was cleaning his VCR's headset before his he recorded the Donkey Kong play. It is my understanding that he was not. Further, it is my understanding that Billy Mitchell recorded his tapes at long play to save on the cost of video. What the fuck? So he's saying because he had dirty videotapes, he wasn't cheating?
Suggestions is that, well, it's possible Billy Mitchell forgot to clean the tapes before recording, which caused some artifacting, which made it look...
Oh, that's... Okay, so that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that... Okay, I didn't finish reading, I guess. But, okay, so he's saying that the tapes were dirty, and because of that, some artifacting was afoot. Like, what?
Suspicious. To try and explain away how his runs matched identical to MAME runs. Unmodified runs somehow just artifacted with a not clean tape and looked exactly like the MAME runs multiple times over the course of years. What a weird dink that is, huh? Like, those are some of his suggestions.
That sounds like a bologna sandwich.
Bafflingly stupid what this guy tries to claim. I highly encourage you to watch that Veritas video going over the entire Billy Mitchell thing. There is no room for just freak coincidences, or maybe there was some kind of malfunction, which is something that Dr. Zyda suggests. There may have been a malfunction. What in tarnation?
There were... Okay, the same malfunction happened every single time at the exact same point. Every time. It's not even... Like, at that point, it's not even a coincidence. What the... Like Charlie said, what in tarnation? That is a load of bullocks.
Why, I ought to give you a swirly in the bathroom for that. He doesn't give any evidence to it. He just says, could have been a malfunction. What malfunction would cause it to look exactly like MAME? Like, what? How? It is unironically one of those last-ditch Hail Mary responses you give when you have no out and you know your goose is cooked. Like, Charles, whose cocaine is this in your car? I have no idea. I don't know how that got there. Well, why is it in your car? I don't know. Something clearly went awry. Must be some kind of malfunction. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Like, this Dr. Zyda risks his entire reputation to try and defend Billy Mitchell with the worst mumbo-jumbo ever. Nothing substantial.
Okay, to be fair. What his little defense against Billy Mitchell is probably the strongest defense that could possibly ever be concocted. Ever. So, to his merit, that is, like, he did come up with the best possible way that Billy Mitchell did not cheat. So, you know.
Nothing even sensical. And Twin Galaxies just puts his name on this pile of garbage, saying, you can take the heat for this, but we're going to go through with this settlement and just put up a historical archive of his old record. It's not real. They haven't been reinstated. They just provided an old snapshot from 2014 when those records were there. So you can go look at the old record, but it's not on the main leaderboard at all. His records have not been reinstated. Billy Mitchell has not proved that he didn't cheat. He never will, because he cheated. And that's the simple explanation of it. Billy Mitchell got this settlement because he had more money than the other side. So he was able to squeak this out, which is a very slight win for him, admittedly, which is upsetting, because he doesn't deserve it. Had this gone to trial, I have no doubt his clock would have been cleaned here. Anyone, when faced with the evidence of Billy Mitchell's career, and all of the mistakes he made in handling the case, by the way, would immediately rule against him. And he knew that. So he got super lucky with how all of this unfolded. So I just wanted to clear the record here that Billy Mitchell is not innocent. He is not owed an apology from anybody. That's about it. See ya.
Well, all right. Billy Mitchell is a load of dirty baloney, is what he is. All right. That was pretty interesting. Let me, hold on.
Going to be visiting the dark web version of
jail. Experts are like,
fuck, what is his name? Shit.
The deep web is described as web content that is not included as part of search results. You need the exact links to access sites that are part of the deep web. They say the deep web is 1,000 times greater than the quantity of the surface web, which is what we're on right now. Below the deep web is the dark web. The dark web is intentionally hidden from the public and can only be accessed using a special program such as Tor web browser. This tool allows you to view pages ending with .onion, which cannot be accessed using a normal browser such as Chrome. This area of the internet makes up only 5% of the web, with extreme levels of illegality. In the last video, I set a goal for 25,000 likes if you guys wanted to see the dark web version of that video. You guys absolutely broke that goal, so here we are. Today, we will be talking about the dark web's strangest websites. Oh, by the way, I do not condone anything I will be talking about, and I do not suggest anyone go on the dark web unless you know what you're doing.
Oh no,
hey
it's
guys,
totally safe.
How are you doing today? Today we're going to
be all
be
good.
talking about part 2 of the internet's strangest websites, which is dedicated to the dark web. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe if you want to, and if you don't like me or if I get canceled in the future, you can easily unsubscribe. Also, speaking about my subscribers, we hit 300,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. It seems like just yesterday we hit 100,000 because it was so recent. I seriously can't thank you guys enough. You guys are making my dreams come true, and I understand that I'm in a blessed position to be able to do what I want and get paid from it, make this my job. So thank you guys so much. Nothing is ever unnoticed. Seriously, you viewer that are watching this, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah,
also,
no problem.
Please make sure to follow me on
No
Instagram.
problem.
We're trying to hit 30,000 followers over there by the end of the year. And look at me. I'm in a Five Nights at Freddy's onesie. Isn't that cool? Even though we're talking about the strangest websites on the dark web, I know there's going to be a ton of people, yo, you missed this, you missed that. Well, I'm choosing to leave some stuff out simply because I can't talk about it on YouTube. You guys, let me know about the idea of creating a Patreon where I discuss everything uncensored and with images, and you know, you would have to pay like 15 bucks a month, for example. Let me know if you were interested in that idea, but if I do create it, I'll let you guys know right now. My focus is the channel, and Patreon is the side focus. Also, keep your eyes open for my music, which is coming out in 2022. It is hyper pop hip-hop music. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already heard like a couple of snippets over there. So yeah, another reason to go follow me on Instagram. And I just want to make you guys aware that I'm going to be releasing music soon. Also, we have a second channel where I open up your guys' mail. Go check it out if you can. In this video, we will be talking about 15 dark web websites in no specific order. Some websites on this list can be found on the deep web, but for the most part, we will be talking about the dark web. That was it for my explanation, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Hiring hackers. Hiring hackers is a very common thing on the dark web. Here's the description of one of the websites I found. They misspell a bunch of words, which already knocks off some credibility for me. I and my guys are not one of those cheap ass hackers here on the deep web who are trying to raise peanuts money. We are good with our skills and knowledgeable with what we do. We can get job as an ethical hacker from most of the organizations who are looking for hackers with the skills and experience we have. And so if you are interested in contacting us, you should also be ready and serious to bring a reusable task and cooperate with our terms. We are not just looking for customers here, but we are looking for serious-minded people who need any of their hacking jobs to be done, no matter how hard or complicated the job might be. We will bleed through it and make sure we deliver to you on or before the expected day we promised. We came together with our individual skills to achieve a bigger goal of service. Send us an email to, gonna censor that. All right, so let's go over their hacking
I hope
services.
their hacking
So
is better
for
than their
website hacking, the price
spelling.
ranges from $500 to $3,000, depending on the architecture of the website. Then we have
pretty
PC
steep.
hacking. This involves unauthorized access into some personal computer or organization computing system. They charge $500 to $3,500 for that. You could change your grades.
Steal a
Look
bunch
at
of
that grade
Bitcoin.
changing. This has to do with the school database system, and however, the price for this depends on the school, but the price ranges from $1,200 to
Mother of
$3,750. You can also get cell phone hacking, DDoS attacks, email hacking, social media hacking. So while I was looking over hackers on the dark web, I found another website, and this one's a little bit more professional, I would say. So this website is for two hackers. I'm going to be blurring out their name. We're just going to call them hacker number 1 and hacker number 2. Hacker number 1 says, my expertise is programming, running exploits, setting up DDoS attacks, and I like the challenge of doing things where most others give up. I can recover passwords of most social networks easily, remote control smartphones, and most other things that are useful because I spent years to find methods that really work. So hacker number 1's services include remote control the phone of someone else, $700, Facebook and Twitter account hacking, $500, DDoS for protected.
I don't know. It just sounds so scammy. I don't know, but I've heard that the dark web is they're all very I don't know. They're all very reliable is what I'm trying to think of. So that's what I've heard, is that if you try to buy drugs, you try to buy stuff on the dark web, you're gonna get what you pay for. But you know,
websites for 1 month, $900.
then again, if they don't do it, you know, like if they don't actually do it for you, then who's gonna like call the police and get that, you know?
And hacker number 2's services are a little bit more, I don't know how to say it, malicious. So you could buy something where it says you destroy someone's life.
Oh yeah,
and
no, I
it
think
says
it's
your
I think it's
target
totally
will have legal
fine.
problems or financial problems. Proven methods including CP that always works. So these hackers will
Oh,
put
God.
CP onto someone's computer and then call the authorities on them and get them locked up. Yeah, if you don't know what CP is, I'm tired of saying if you don't know what CP is, bro. Like, I'm not gonna tell you guys to go look it up. People called me on that another video. I said it. I'm not gonna say it. We also have spreading false information about someone on social media, not as life ruining, but still nasty, $450. Social engineering to get secrets from a person, private or some employee, $450. Yeah, so the destroying someone's life, that costs $1,700. You have to pay in Bitcoin for all of this. Obviously, it's anonymous. It's just scary knowing that someone could hire a hacker on you. Drugs shipped to you. You ever wanted to buy drugs but not go through the hassle of finding a dealer? Or maybe you just like receiving packages in the mail. Well, you can actually have drugs shipped right to your house. You can have weed shipped to you. Here are the prices. 1 ounce of OG Kush is $135 and 5 ounces is $475.
OG Kush.
You weed smokers that watch me, let me know if people are getting ripped off on the dark web. I do not smoke weed. I do not smoke marijuana. I've gotten like 2 weed sponsors for my channel, like companies trying to reach out, but I don't know where you get the idea that I smoke weed. People always tell me, you look like you smoke weed. It's like a stereotype. Never. No, it's not my thing. I do not do that. I focus on YouTube algorithm. I'm such a nerd for that. I know. Anyway, not only can you buy weed, but you can buy hard drugs. I'm talking heroin, cocaine, ecstasy pills, and more. Just shipped to your house. So yeah, the mailman doesn't know he's transmitting illegal substances. Here are the prices for heroin. So you heroin users, let me know if people are getting ripped off on the dark web.
Good God.
Counterfeit money. This is exactly what it sounds like. Our notes are produced of cotton-based paper. They pass the pen test without problems. UVI is incorporated, so they pass the UV test as well. They have all necessary security features to be spent at most retailers. Free shipping in the US. Here are the prices for that. So you could buy 25 I'm assuming $50 bills for $325, and you could spend $500 and $900.
Sounds like
just
a
to
steal.
get more money, but it's fake money that you're probably gonna scam people with. Again, you're gonna have to pay in Bitcoin, and in case you guys are wondering, like the last video, I am not providing links to any of these websites. I just don't condone any of this. Buying hacked PayPal accounts. This is the process of when hackers hack into a PayPal account that has money in it and then sell that for cheap on the dark web. We are offering the best and cheapest high quality PayPal accounts on the market with balance. These accounts are guaranteed account balance, 100% valid info for guaranteed cash out, freshly hacked, aged accounts with transactions over $250, fully verified with bank or credit card, complete info provided, USA personal or premier business accounts. What do you get upon purchase?
What in
Full
the
name,
world?
Address, street, city, state, zip and country, phone number, PayPal, email, and password, credit card or bank, last 4 digits, last transaction if available, cookie file, and user agent. I mean, you get the person's address and everything, so if you wanted to go even further, you could probably extort this person and blackmail whoever account you just bought. I probably just gave someone an idea. So here are the prices for that. You
Probably,
get 10 accounts with $250 to $500 balance for only $150 US. If you want to buy 5
Hold on. So, but what's the point of that though?
accounts with $5,000 to
Oh, you get 25. Okay. All right. What? Well, that sounds like everyone's getting their PayPal shit stolen. My God.
$25,000 in balance, that would only cost you just under $600. Wow. Offensive Opinions. Offensive Opinions is a dark web website dedicated to offensive opinions. There's not really much more to say to that. Let's just read one together. I'm sure Martin Luther King got many things right, but it seems he was excessively glorified. I guess as most popular people are. Yeah, so from what I've seen, it's just opinions that make you go like, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more tame ones on this list. Semen alert. This just seems to be like a really gay website, and no, not in an insulting way, like a legitimately gay website. The reason it's called Semen alert is because the owner, or the admin, I guess, has a huge notice at the top letting everyone know the last time he ejaculated. Yeah.
15 hours ago. That's lightweight. What in the world?
Fake IDs. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Fake US driver's license, which are shipped to you and actually are scannable. Our fake driver's license are all scannable, contain original hologram and UV microprint laser.
Once again, this is like regular. I'm pretty sure you can buy fake IDs on regular websites. This is not, you know, you don't have to go to the dark web to get a fake ID.
Engraving, etc. Shipping from the US within 48 hours. We only sell the best quality. You will not find better IDs anywhere. They all cost $200, but only certain states are listed on the website. HumanLeather.com. Before I talk about this, I want to say, guys, make sure to leave a like on the video.
Oh God, I know what this one is. Oh
innocence
shit.
to bring this research over to you guys here on YouTube. And if you guys could subscribe, that would be amazing. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, by the way. Like I said, we're trying to hit 30,000 over there on Instagram and 400,000 here by the end of the year. Also, if you can, go follow me on Twitter. I think I post some funny stuff over there. Anyway, back to HumanLeather.com. This is a website that only had one page, but let's read what was on that one page. We are a specialized leather product company, and we only work to a very specific order book. In fact, we only craft a very limited number of pieces per year, depending on our stock of raw material. We closed our order book a few years ago as our waiting list became too large for us to be able to service all our outstanding requests. We will soon, however, be opening our waiting list again to our exclusive clientele. I mean, there's not really much to say other human products. Skin, right? Make products out of that.
That is
I don't know specifically
so
what they make.
But how would you know it was human? You know, like what are they getting out, like the DNA kit? What the fuck? I don't understand how they're gonna know it's definitely.
But, I mean, there's a what is that? A leather book on the webpage. So we can only assume it's leather material, but it's human material, you know. Joy of Satan. This website is everything you need to know about Satanism. The website is pretty, let's just say old-fashioned. Browsing the website,
Satanism.
you can find information on Lucifer, the origins of Satanism, exposing Christianity, which it seems that section of the website has been taken down. I thought the error screen was pretty funny. You can also find sections such as dedicating your soul to Satan, kids and teens for Satan, satanic witchcraft, and so much more. The witchcraft one caught my attention and what? Death spell? So there's 10 steps for a death spell, which yeah, it would be to kill somebody. So let's go through it. Step number 1, construct an effigy or a puppet using the article. In case you guys don't know what an effigy is, it's just like a little sculpture of someone. Step number 2, go to the cemetery and get some dirt. Step number 3, you need to focus into the puppet, visualizing the victim. All of the hate you possibly can, especially during its construction. It is imperative here to stay focused with intent. Try to do this during a waning moon. When the moon is in Scorpio or Capricorn,
Mike Tyson says he's seen it all in prison. Everything from consensual homosexuality to forcible rape. Indignities, he says, the inmates are powerless to do anything about.
Do you think that the prison system should talk to the prisoners?
The prison system don't care about no prisoners, man. Give me a break, man. You believe that stuff? I believe you said that to me. I don't care about these guys. This is their living. Put people in here. They don't rehabilitate. They're factory. They pack you in here like sardines.
Mike.
Speaking of facts, Mike Tyson.
is good time. Step number 4, construct a small box. Cardboard is fine. Step number 5, light a black candle. Concentrate intensely upon the death and destruction of the enemy. Do not be disturbed or lose your focus. Step number 6, put the effigy into its box. Step number 7, bury it inside of the box. Step number 8, save some of the dirt. Step number 9, take it outside or back to the graveyard and bury it, placing the reserved dirt on top of the box, knowing the victim will meet his or her death. Step number 10, do not think about the spell or the enemy, as this will interfere with its working. Wow. Okay. Stillborn Angels. Stillborn Angels is not a dark web website, but it's extremely morbid. This was an image-based website where mothers would post their stillborn children and memorialize them digitally, with captions such as, "Mommy loves you," "Our hearts broke the day you left us," and...
That is so, like, some things, right? Yes, having a stillborn is horrendous. However, there are some things that just don't need to be put on the fucking internet. Come on now. Like, what? Like, why? Why do we have to? Why? So gross.
Born Asleep Precious Angel. The website is no longer up, but archives exist. You can access them by using the Wayback Machine. This one personally hurt me the most out of almost everything I've researched on this channel, but it's just a different type of pain when it's mothers grieving for their children. So
yeah, it's very sad, but come on. Why would you post your kid on that? My God. I would never in my wildest dreams think of posting my stillborn infant on the web.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. The Cannibal Cafe Forum. The Cannibal Cafe Forum is a website that no longer exists, but archives can be found of it. This was a site where people would share their sexual fantasies about eating others. The part I found most disturbing was the livestock sections where people would sell, well, they'd sell other people, and mainly girls. Cow Natalia is a pierced bisexual goth girl from the Netherlands. She is in great condition and her meat is firm, lean, and somewhat muscular. Purchase or lease price will include shipping to your destination of choice. She has been trained in... and I'm just not gonna read that. This is another horrible one. Even look at the posters that they would put for these girls. Here's another one I found. It says, and they write quotes for these girls, like fake ass quotes. Here's one of them. "Daddy, I'm ready. Hope I taste as good as mom." This was basically a prostitution/cannibal ring, and it was just on the surface web. So there's a reason I got taken down, because it's not on the dark web. I'm telling you guys right now, 100%, these exist and they are thriving on the dark web. What we're seeing is a 1 in 1,000 probably. So 8chan.mo. We all know that 4chan and 8chan exist, and we already know that there's some weird people that hang out on those websites. I mean, just take this video for example. By the way, go watch that after this video. And I'm not saying that everyone that's on 4chan or 8chan is instantly a weirdo, but what I am saying is that there's a reason 4chaners have a certain reputation. But what if I told you that there's a dark web version of 8chan? Yeah, it's called 8chan.mo, and it's laid out just like the other chans. But there's a room called, it's called Animal Love. And it's a word I can't say, but I'm still gonna say it, but you guys probably know what I'm gonna say. But it is zoo. That's right. Zoo. And it's full of disgusting pictures of men and their dogs, and they're doing stuff I can't say on YouTube, but I mean, just look at the comments. Like, I'll put some screenshots of the comments that I found, and it's just, it's absolutely disgusting. And it's right there on 8chan.mo. Like, fake
God.
USA citizenship. Become a citizen of the USA. Real USA passport. We offer bulletproof USA passports, social security numbers, driver's license, and a birth certificate, and other papers making you an official citizen of the USA. It will even work if you're not in the USA yet. How we do it? Trade secret. They got their secrets, guys. But we can assure you that you won't have any problems with our papers. We are shipping documents from the USA. International shipping is no problem. You can use your name or a new name. Information on how to send us required info, scan signature, biometric picture, etc. will be given after the purchase. The total price is 4,000 USD. 1,000 USD is paid when you order, and the other 3,000 when we show you photo and video proof of your passport. The first 1,000 USD are needed up front to see that you're serious about it. Once paid, we'll discuss the details in our shop internal message system. That's crazy, bro. Again, it's like stealing someone's identity. I don't know if I should take back that statement, because you're given a social security number, but I don't know if it's a used one already or if they just make a new social security number, which I don't know how you would be able to do that. But again, we're talking about the dark web. Yeah, I don't know if you're given someone else's identity or if they're creating a new identity.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. I feel like the SSN would not work. But I don't know, maybe, hold up, wait a minute, maybe they have somebody working on the inside. They have somebody working on the inside of the government.
For you. The Human Experiment. Now, I personally couldn't find any of these websites.
You know what, that would make a huge amount, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the person running that website on the dark web is in the government. because they're probably pretty smart to be in the position they are to begin with. They probably know about the dark web. You know, they're not stupid. And if they are the ones like making social security numbers and stuff, it might be a little ring in the government, you know?
And I'm glad I didn't, but I do have a description from a certain source in an article that I was reading. This site is considered as one of the most disturbing sites on the dark web. They experiment with living people, like injecting bleach into pregnant women, starvation, sterilization, radiation exposure, and several other tortures.
God.
The human experiment is a warehouse of scariest human experiments. They possibly do all the experiments on homeless people who are more painful and arrogant. This site has a tagline: not all humans are equal. For some of them, were born superior to others. They torture the homeless people and live stream to the user. Again, I have no proof this exists because I just read that off an article, but we're talking about the dark web, guys. Come on.
Yep, probably
Red
exists.
rooms. So, red rooms. This is the idea of people going live on the dark web and live streaming themselves, torturing people and getting donations, like in the chat, like a Twitch chat, and people in the chat donating and being like, okay, now do this to the person. Now do this, you know. It's really messed up, but actually, I think Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, shout out Mudahar, I love you, bro. If you watch my videos, let me know down in the comments. I think he actually said in a video that red rooms are actually, they're not real.
Let's say that a red room was to hypothetically exist, right, on the deep web. It would never exist on the deep web, okay? A good barometer to understand that is take Tor, download Tor, go to a speed test website, and see how dog shit slow Tor actually is. See, the only way that it can work is, let's say that some group out there is actually running a red room, right? Well, they would have a group of people that they would pass a VPN software most likely to. The VPN software would connect, you know, through encryption channels and directly to a virtual private network hosted by the actual, you know, murderers or torturers in this session, and that would be used to distribute video properly across numerous parts.
Again, it's this idea.
Yeah, but you don't need that much. Okay, with Tor, I mean, if you have a decent internet speed, like, okay, it's at 20 megabytes per second, you could still stream off of that. Like, you might not be streaming in 4K, Ultra HD, 8,000 bitrate or anything like that, but you're gonna be like, it's gonna be okay. I would not be totally discounting the fact that they exist solely based off of like internet and stuff like that. And nowadays VPN, I mean, like VPNs, if you pay for a good one, they can be really fucking good. So like I would not discount the fact that they exist at all just based off of internet. Like what?
Yeah, where I said in the last video, it's like if you were in a red room, I'm pretty sure no one would say, yeah, I was in a red room, because you don't want to say you've been in it, because that would be like an accomplice to the person that was being live streamed dying. But again, for the most part, don't believe in red rooms. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I would say...
All right, that was it for this video. So the last video got 46,000 likes and probably more by the time you're watching this. So that lets me know that you guys really like this content and that you guys are extremely engaged. So can we please hit 40,000 likes on this video?
Well,
40,000. That's the goal. I never set like goals, but I think I'm going to start because, damn, you guys are really cool to me. If you guys want to leave a like, make sure to leave a like. If you want to subscribe, make sure to subscribe. Remember, if I ever get canceled, you guys can easily click that unsubscribe button. I know we make a lot of morbid videos, but my life has been going crazy recently. Like, just I'm so happy in life right now. I've been able to provide for my single mom with this YouTube shit, and just, man, my life is just going crazy, like so great, man. And we hit 300,000, and my dreams are coming true of being a YouTuber. And I feel like I've worked so hard these past 5 years on YouTube, and something is finally happening. So thank you guys. So everyone who was stuck with me from 0 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers to 300,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I never want to be one of those YouTubers that just sees you guys as numbers. So if you ever see me in real life, make sure to tell me. Take a picture with me. I have like, I think in total like 5 or 6 people that have taken pictures with me. It's so humbling and so flattering, and I love you guys, bro. Seriously, that's the thing you guys always tell me. You guys tell me, yo, when I watch your videos, it's like I'm talking to a friend, and I love that. I would hope that we can like build a connection as me and the audience, even though I'll never get to know you guys. You guys know me, but what are the chances I'm gonna know 300,000 people? I'm talking too much, but basically, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys.
Oh man, I love Tub. He seems like such a good dude. Honestly, that's so sweet.
Thank you guys so much for the support on the last video. That video has 600,000 views and hit 100,000 likes, meaning that we are now going to be visiting the dark web version of the Internet's Strangest Websites. This is the final and technically 4th part of the series, so I made a playlist you can check out at the top right of the screen if you want to watch all the episodes. For my safety and yours, I will not be sharing the links of the websites I visited, and there will be a lot of censorship, as I'm sure you'd understand why. Anyway, my name is Tuv, and today we'll be talking about the dark web's strangest websites. I definitely don't look like the type of dude that's gonna go on the dark web for a video. Anyway, welcome back to another video, guys. In case you guys haven't noticed, there is something different. That is right, my hair is blue. If you guys see any color other than blue, please go to an eye doctor and get yourself checked out. And thank you guys so much for 860,000 subscribers. We're closing in on 900,000, and when we hit 900,000, that's the final stretch to 1 million. Stay tuned for the 1 million specials. There's gonna be 2. There's gonna be, you know, a normal speech that I always do for these big milestones, and I'm also gonna go ahead and collaborate with someone. I don't know if you guys know of him. He's not that big, but he's very moist. Yeah. He's a small content creator, alright? So I'm gonna put him on. We'll talk more about that at 1 million. As you guys know, a lot of morbid content creators don't really get monetized. So I'm really grateful that we have a lot of sponsors on the channel, and today's sponsor is Raid Shadow Legends.
First, actually,
this video was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends has taken over, and gaming will never be the same. Raid is the first game to bring a true console.
Oh, is this what he's talking about? Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform one day, bro.
I believe it.
So you're probably wondering how I got here. Well, let's take a trip down memory lane. On August 18th, 2021, I had 85,000 subscribers and put out a video titled The Darkest TikTok Iceberg. This gave me my first big push as a YouTuber until this day is my most viewed video. I went on and completed the series with 2 more episodes, and these videos really mean a lot to the channel as they completely changed the trajectory of my content for the better. I was able to finally find a footing in what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and that's become a YouTuber/content creator. 5 months later, a beautiful man by the name of Charlie, aka Critical, reacted to the video on his Twitch stream in front of thousands of people. I may have freaked out.
Darkest TikTok iceberg.
Oh!
People keep asking for that.
Oh my god! Oh! Yo! And to my surprise, he uploaded onto his own channel, which now has 7.5 million views. We became good friends, and I asked him if whenever I hit 1 million subscribers, if we could film together and come back full circle. So, I am proud to announce that this is the final 1 million subscribers special. Thank you guys so much for 1 million.
And he's about to hit 2 million
subscribers. I know we're a little bit late, about 300,000 subscribers late, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. I know the sentence is gonna sound funny, but I would be nothing without you guys. Literally. You guys make me the YouTuber that I am. I'll never stop thanking you guys. Thank you guys for giving me...
You see, and this is why I feel like Tuv, he would have to say something totally off the walls, totally out of left field to really, like, be canceled. He, from what I can tell, he seems super appreciative of his fans, and he just... YouTube actually responded to him. That's huge. But... yeah, I know. He seems like a really good guy, so...
So make sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. 4:33 a.m., August 16th, 2022. I'm gonna meet Critical. This is insane. I haven't fully processed it yet. I have to take a big poop. A year ago today, I was just a fucking kid. I mean, I still am a kid. I mean, I'm 20, but I feel like a kid, bruh. I feel like I'm just...
oh my god, I'm older than Tuv. What in the world?
Today, I had just uploaded the Darkest TikTok Iceberg. Almost a year ago today. In 2 days, it'll be 2 years. So 362 days ago? Bro, I swear to fuck, I feel like a normal fucking person. And I want to stay like that. I just feel like I worked hard to blow up. I'm doing it. Got my achievements on the wall. Soon, Overdose is gonna be there. 1 million streams for Overdose. I'm gonna hug Charlie, bro. I'm gonna hug him. Alright guys, just got to the airport. We've never done this before, bro. Never. Neither of us have. Alright guys, just landed at Tampa, Florida. Do you guys know Chick-fil-A sells breakfast? About to try it. Taste test. Bro, I knocked the fuck out on the plane. I knocked the fuck out. It was good. Of course I had to fucking shit. The whole time I had to shit. Stomach was fucking... Bro. Easy. Let's talk about a 1 million subscribers cake. There's a twist to it. We're gonna put hot sauce in it. Why? Funny. That's it. It's funny. And the mini fridge here is where I placed the world's hottest chocolate bars. I got 3 of them. I bought them like months ago, bro. Like in April. If you guys are OGs of the channel, which I don't know if a lot of you guys are, but hopefully a lot of you guys are. But I did eat the world's hottest chocolate bar when I celebrated, I think, 7,000 subscribers. Like, it was a number like that. It's hot! Holy shit, I'll never forget that experience. It's genuinely hot. Like, I don't know if that's a record-breaking fucking chocolate. It probably is. That shit is fucking hot. Hey, what y'all think about the outfit though? So like, I gotta make sure I look cute. What y'all talking about? But yeah, we got Earl. You already know. We got the green cargo pants. And we got my default shoes. I call these the defaults because you can wear them with anything. I also am planning on giving Charlie a few gifts. So let's see what I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give him 3 DVDs. Why? Because I want to. I love him. Norm of the North on DVD, sealed. Why? He mentioned in one of his newer videos that he hasn't seen it yet, so I got your DVD, Charlie. No excuses now. You better watch Norm of the North. We also got Mars Needs Moms, a fucking horrible film, and I also got him one Spirited Away, which is one of my personal favorite movies. This is not a joke one. This is genuinely.
Spirited Away is solid.
He's probably seen it. Hey, shout out No Face. But yeah, so I got him 3 gifts already, and I also got him an Earl care package. Look at that. Amazing. He's gonna keep the tote bag. Everything is made by us at the Earl team. Look at that, embroidered. Amazing. This is a newer drop. This is part of the summer drop. Everything he has here is like the normal OG stuff. You guys will see later when I gift it to him. But to get a little preview, sucks. All right, guys, make sure to use code CAKE for 30% off anything at earldoesn'texist.com. We have our final, and I think best, drop already out by the time this video comes out. After that, the store will reset, so everything is rare. I'll let you guys know for being cutesy from Brady. I can't show you Joe Discord call. You know now. In my case, to see my personality. It's the first day of school, or I'm as nervous as the first day of school, or like a first date. But this is more than a first date. Like, fuck a girl that I'm a date. Like, this is way more important. Easily. What are you talking about?
Shout out to them pills, cause they make me feel at home. Too much in my nose, and I might overdose. There's no point in toast.
Oh my god.
No wait, don't fucking wait. Yo, we're not gonna put your car on the video. Charlie, yo. What's going on? I'm gonna freak out for a little bit, bro. It's all right, of course, bro. Oh, you didn't have to wait outside. I know, but we wanted that shot. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be making the hottest cake in the world. And I'm here with a little YouTuber, small YouTuber, 300 subscribers?
Somewhere in there. Hey guys.
Somewhere around there.
I hope to get as big as Tub one day with the dark rise to fame, so we're working on it.
Yeah, maybe it'll happen.
Yeah, it's got to be a real dark rise.
We're in my warehouse, we're in my kitchen right now. We're about to eat something so good. Your mouth gonna be watering by the end of this video, alright? What's step 1 to make a cake? I really don't know, bro.
Yes, this is Matt's area of expertise here.
I love it's just gonna be a shit cake. You guys are just gonna blame me.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, when you said you didn't know how to make a cake and Charlie said my crew does.
Yeah.
It's because we know the bare basics of cooking.
Which is all you need.
Yeah.
You can show them the world's hottest chocolate.
We also I bought the world's hottest chocolate bars. These have 9 million Scoville units each, and we're gonna use all of them, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna use all of them, and we're gonna see if we die or not. You guys, how much milk do you have?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we have ice cream.
Ask if we have ice cream, it is from the same charity stream last time we got ice cream.
No way.
All right, guys, we're gonna raw dog this, no milk mode.
No, we're not. That's not what we're doing. Yeah, I'm gonna ask Caleb to go grab some. This is probably not safe for consumption.
It doesn't seem like it.
We do have sour cream.
Yeah, we could just start huffing sour cream.
Sour cream in the cake? Is that what we're gonna do? Is that?
I don't think
we can. It does make it moist.
Can you ask Caleb to just real quickly run and get some ice cream, some Bluebell?
All right, so we're gonna start by mixing the dry ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go with flour.
Is that the all-purpose flour?
That is.
Yes, it is.
And you're gonna want 2 1/3 cups, however you want to measure that.
All right, 2 1/3.
Let's see.
1 cup. So that's 1 cup. So. Oh, I do it twice. Okay. I was looking for like when it goes up to 2. I'm stupid.
See, that's the part of cooking you don't.
How long have we been streaming? 2 hours. All right, we're gonna leave it at here. I might stream in a little bit. We'll see. But thank you everyone for watching. I will probably be back in a little bit, but I'm taking a little bit of a break. See you guys.